Do you ever bother to ask what I want? No. You wouldn't tell me what to do, what not to do.
We didn't punish you or anything, but we just explained to you that you had to go inside the school. You know.
Oh, I didn't understand I needed to go inside?
Yeah. And you were sitting in there, sitting out there on the swing, just having yourself a good time. Yeah. I thought it was cute myself. Oh, I did. I thought it was cute. Yeah. But we didn't do anything to punish you or anything. Just because you didn't understand what you were supposed to do. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I thought I had just decided that I didn't want to go to school that day.
No. You just didn't know what the rules was. You know.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't like you was doing anything or being belligerent or anything like that. It was just you didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was my first day of kindergarten, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was your very first day of school. You shot hooker.
Okay, I remember there was a corner store, and Ivory Jr. said that Irene used to date the guy down there. So did we see a lot of her?
Mr. Nelson?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Maybe she did because I never was in people's business, man. You know, so that I don't know. You know, I can't say.
Did we see a lot of her?
Irene?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. We always even when we were living on the west side over there on 15th and 16th and Central Park. That's where your mom and I was living with your mother, with your grandmother, when we first moved to Chicago. Which most everybody that came in from the south came into the west side of Chicago.
Right.
12th Street Railroad Station.
Okay.
And that's where most of the people, when they came from down south to Chicago, they would end up, they would start out living on the west side of Chicago, and as time went by, they would branch out and they'd go to predominantly the south side, you know, and then they would go to other parts of Chicago too. But that's where most of the people, when they came from down south, they would come to Chicago, to the west side of Chicago.
Okay.
And Irene, she visited us a lot when we were living there with your grandmother on 16th and Central Park. And after we moved out to 83rd Street, you know, she would come by and visit us there too. When we were on 21st Street, she'd come back because, as a matter of fact, she was dating a gentleman, or an older gentleman. He lived on Trumbull. No, it wasn't Trumbull. The next street over from Trumbull. I can't think of what it is, what the name of that street is now. Cadville?
St. Louis?
No, it was going east.
In the other direction. I don't know which street that is.
St. Louis was west of where we were staying. This was going east. I can't think of the name of that street now, Glenn. I think it was Cadville. I don't know. But anyway, that's where she lived with him until he passed away.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, she came home from work one day and she stopped by the house, by the apartment to visit with us. And then she left and went to her apartment where they were living. And she came right back. You know, she said, Cliff, will you go around and check on Harry?
I think I remember that.
I believe he's dead. And I went over there, hey, you, thumb picker. Hey,
drink.
Hey, what's that you got in your mouth? Look at it, look. Yeah, but anyway, I went around there, and sure enough, he was dead. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember Harry.
Yeah.
It's my mother.
Yeah, but yeah, we used to see a lot of Irene.
Wait,
Yeah.
dog. His brother's out there with him.
Yeah, I mean, the only visit that I remember from when I was small is somebody was at a Cubs game getting ready to sing the national anthem, and they were messing it up, and Irene said, "That's not the way you do it," and she started singing, and it was just as bad as what she was complaining about.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the fun. I thought that was the funniest thing. That's not the way you do it. Okay, with going back to the library, did you guys get a lot of donated furniture? Because I seem to remember a lot of furniture being brought by.
Yeah, we got a few pieces. It wasn't a lot, but we got a few pieces like tables, and we got some chairs, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it was nothing elaborate, but it was more of a comfort thing than anything else. You know, you had. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, it wasn't anything elaborate, but we had some furniture that was donated to us. I can't recall who donated it, but I know tables and chairs was, you know, and a couple of lamps, you know, because it was in the basement and the lighting wasn't that great.
That was not that good.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if this is my childish mind making stuff up or if this is real. Did you guys have a music room?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Okay.
No, we didn't have a music room. Like I said, I think probably about the greatest progress that we did have as far as that library was concerned. We got to the point where we would have our little debates. You know,
we had a debate team.
Yeah, we would let you guys pick a subject that you wanted to talk on, or discuss, or debate, and we would do that. You know.
Okay.
And the rest of the time, some of the kids would even go so far as to come down there and do their homework.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And I remember you guys having tutors. Did you have tutors?
No, it might have been where Mr. and Mrs. Cross would help somebody out if they needed help.
Okay.
But that's about the best we did with that. You know, I like I said before, Glenn, a lot of we didn't get a lot of participation from the adults. We got a nice little turnout from the kids.
Got my favorite outfit on.
Okay.
My literature.
But I can't recall
And these are my treats.
where there was a lot of adults that
Of course
came
it's
around.
okay.
Okay.
This is my world.
Why? I don't know.
No, they didn't care enough about it.
Yeah, I guess
You
not.
cared where they did it.
All mine.
You saw what would be a benefit to the kids in the community, and they saw it as something that was going to take their time.
I guess, you know, because
Get deals on everything you need to go back to
I've thought about that a couple of times since you started tapping into my mind about it. You know, and I can't think of anybody that I can say other than David Shanville, Mr. and Mrs. Cross, Mr. Kirksey, myself, and your mom.
Okay. So none of Daybrush's kids helped either? Because I know they were older.
They would help out. You know, they would come by and do something if we asked them to.
When you buy a used car, you should
I
feel
think
confident.
probably.
That's why CarMax has over 40,000 cars to choose from nationwide, with prices clearly marked, the same online
Phyllis
as they are in
and
the
Renee.
stores. That should give you some car buying confidence, the type of confidence you need to
Maybe
work after Labor
Angelina
Day. The type of confidence to suddenly switch
would
to an
come over
English
there
accent for no reason
spend time in the
whatsoever.
library.
Yep.
Okay.
CarMax,
You
it's
know,
all about
but,
confidence. Nothing but
Charles, he would come over there and get in the way.
nailed it. Or should I say,
Yeah.
nailed it, governor.
And that was about it, though.
I don't want to make it tough. I just want to tell you that I've had enough.
It might sound crazy, but it ain't no lie, baby. Bye, bye, bye.
Did you use a card catalog system to store the books, or were they just there and you happen to know where they were?
Oh, I believe we did.
5 calories, no artificial sweetener.
I want to say yes,
Bye.
but I do know that we had a composition type tablet that we kept track of who took books out
Mm-hmm.
and the date that they were taken
You
out
can
and
use
when they
whipped
were
topping
returned.
made with hydrogenated
Okay.
oil.
And I think we did have cards where we
Or shared
categorized,
over the real cream in Ready Whip.
and we had the little shelves set up where we had
Ready Whip. Share the joy.
our books were set up
Free
in
donuts in the quad. I'd love
different
Sure,
categories.
my dude. Take this to one laptop from
And,
Best Buy with a powerful 7th-gen Intel
Yeah,
Core
we did.
processor. You'll crush your
I think we
calculus.
did with the little sleeves inside the book.
Tech to impress at Best Buy.
You know, where you could put the card in it. Yeah, we had a system, something like that.
Okay.
Italian art isn't just carved.
Now, once again, I don't know if this is my childish mind making things up or if this is how things went. Because my childish mind remembers writing on index cards real big. You putting a book in front of me and telling me, write this down, and me writing real big letters.
That
Or
might have been
index
one of
cards.
those, might have been one of those times when you were trying to help out. That could be.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be something like that did take place when you were trying to help out.
Until we see some justice.
I remember you putting some books in front of me and you tell me, write this and I'll be back and I'll tell you what to write next.
Just got better.
Yeah, well,
Business
that's a strong possibility that did take place.
costs down
Okay.
and throwing those contracts out. And that's better for every business in every way. Giving you more productive internet speeds, starting at 100
Did we get any
That's
newspapers or magazine companies to donate to the library, or did we just get cast
No,
offs?
we I don't think
Call
we went that far to have
for extra value, Spectrum Business
newspapers.
comes with more free
Mhm.
features.
no
Offered
news,
$29.99 a month.
special editions and
At
anything
Spectrum
like that.
Business,
I think it was strictly
Working at
a
our
book
best, so you
a
can too.
magazine thing.
Perfect.
Okay.
Get new 100 meg internet now just $44.99 a month.
So
with
what
just
hours was the
$29.99
library
a month
open?
With no
I think it was like from
Call
4 o'clock until
855
about
247
8 or
2033.
9, something like that.
The bull type is the most
Darkness
special
was
new show of the
involved in
summer.
it. You know, but I think it was like from 4 o'clock in the evening until about
On demand, Hulu
8,
and the
maybe
free
9
format.
o'clock.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, I kind of remember the library being a real busy place when it was open.
Yeah. Yeah. We had good participation as far as young people was concerned. And
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead. I made it so that everybody could get some.
What it's sick.
um,
I didn't know where you'd gone or when you'd come back. I didn't know what to think.
yeah, it was
Look at your
quite a few
Angus threw me, but I'm not hurt. Well, you're home now.
young people would be coming and going in that place. You know,
Honestly, I've pacified the
on rainy days,
Your father's out
you
there
know,
entertaining
would
them.
really be packed in there. You know, because they couldn't play outside.
Hmm.
So they was coming. Like I said, a lot of the kids would come in there.
So it actually turned into a social center also.
I guess you could call it that. Yeah.
So y'all didn't have the be quiet rule.
No, you just say, if somebody got out of hand, hey, look here, tone it down, something, that kind of thing. But
You made
yeah,
this
they would
for
they
me.
would come in there, and like I said, some of them would come in there and actually check out books and do their homework.
Okay.
Oh, interesting flavor. How do you feel?
About how long was the library open?
Different.
Okay,
Was it a year, 2 years, 3 years?
Have you changed your mind at all about the marriage and
Yeah.
going back to Oh,
I
why don't we go upstairs?
want to
to
say
the loft?
a year,
I've got this whole kerfuffle to rest.
because we ended up buying the house on the south side of town and moving away.
Mm-hmm.
And after we moved away, I wasn't able to get back over there and continue. So I operated. Didn't have anybody that was interested in continuing to operate it. David, I think he ended up moving away.
Okay.
They took and put him on assignment someplace else.
Okay.
So, and I it was some kind of volunteer work he was doing, Glenn, for the life of me, I can't remember what it is, but I know it was community type work.
In other words,
Okay.
I am out of sorts at the moment, but you shall have your answer. Presently. Now, if you'll excuse us.
Give me just a second. I lost my spot.
Okay.
Eleanor, are you all right, dear?
Fine, I'm
This
fine.
fly's gonna drive her up the wall.
Bending your leg.
Aye, you have the bloods.
So were the main users of the library the people on the block, or did it spread out into the community?
I would say the main participants or the main attendees would be the people on the block. We had people that would come from other parts of the neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean it was open to whoever wanted to come.
Right.
You know, but you talking about immediate block?
Yeah.
Mom?
Yeah, we got good participation from the residents on our block. But then that would be people coming from. We had people coming far away as 22nd Street.
Okay.
You know, 22nd Street, Trumbull, St. Louis, Kedzie, you know, Cermak.
Okay, so they were coming from a good distance
yeah.
to that little library.
Right. Yeah, they were coming from I think word had started to get around.
That the library was there.
That it was there, you know, and they had started to come in, you know. But if it hadn't been that we bought the house on the south side and moved away, it probably would have gotten bigger than that. Yeah, so
What made you guys make the decision to move?
we wanted to get another house. We wanted to get our own home.
Okay.
So that's what that was. We bought our own home, you know.
Had you been planning that a long time?
Mm-hmm. Yep. We have been planning. As soon as we got enough money together, we were going to buy ourselves a house. Get you guys somewhere where you can spread out, you know.
It's not my fault. I didn't ask her to change you into a bear. I just wanted her to change you.
Why did Barbara call
Did you hear that?
y'all and Susie instead of Willella and Big Joe?
I don't know.
There's no point
I
in
don't
what
know.
me. The
What were you talking about when he
witches
had his trouble?
Mm-hmm.
Hag.
Was Willella here? Because it would seem to me that he would call his sister and her husband instead of his two nieces and their husbands.
Glenn, I don't.
Everybody, follow me.
Let me see.
Keep a sharp eye.
Here we go,
I-
through the castle.
Well, we're on
I-
the hunters yet. Yeah. It's just seeing it. I was in here to see it myself. I'll get it here.
I don't know if Willella and Joe moved to Chicago after we moved on 83rd Street. I think he did.
What are you doing?
They moved after we moved on 83rd.
The bear came
So maybe they weren't here when he called.
tease you your day.
When he
Either that or maybe they weren't set up to accept him and his family. Now we brought them in and they lived. Him and his family lived in our basement.
basement. Yeah, I remember.
You're not talking about just mom and dad and the kids. Mom and dad and all of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's why they ended up coming to us. rather
Well,
than
yeah,
Willella.
and I'm thinking that makes sense that they would come because we had that whole basement that was empty,
Yeah.
and Willella was actually utilizing her basement.
Yeah, well, that could be it, man. I don't know.
But I was talking in terms of when the trouble started. They also was calling for help because I remember you guys. It shook me up enough that I remember you guys telling us to sit on the floor in the back of the house, and I remember somebody walking around with a rifle.
Oh, shit. That might have been Baby Brother walking around with a rifle. We wanted you to sit on the floor because we were scared somebody was going to come back and start shooting.
Right.
Yeah, so that was what all about. Whatever that program was, it didn't last very long, if I remember correctly, because none of it came to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
Was there a lot of problems with gangs back then?
Yeah, there was problems, but not as much of a problem as it is like now.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
A witch turned mum
but
into a bear. It's not
you had
my fault.
the Blackstone Rangers,
I need your help.
and Okay.